All right, guys, today we got a special guest. You already know he spit flames. Back for his second interview, RJ Payne.
Panda chop.
Payne, what's good, bro?
You already know, man, working as usual. I literally was mixing my album down today, but I said, let me stop what I'm doing and chop it up with the homie.
Man, I'm glad to have you back, bro. How you been?
Life is good, man. You know, just working, man, dropping a project. I've been dropping a project every month this year. So the goal is to drop something for 12 months straight. That's what I'm doing, man. Just hustling.
What made you want to do that?
Some of my favorite underground artists done did it. I seen I think Currency did it once. Papoose did it. My man Shy Stimuli, legendary underground MC, he did it. I just seen a few artists do it, and I always said when I get in position and I'm able to just record in my crib all I want, I'm gonna do it. And just now I'm at my most comfortable studio setup right in my crib, so I've been dropping every month.
Got you, man. All right, man. Well, I gotta start with the latest news. So your man Dark Low just got released from prison. He's staying in a halfway house, if I'm not mistaken. Have you made contact with him?
Shout out to my boy Dark Low. No, actually, I'm gonna keep it 100. I haven't spoke to Dark Low since it's been years. Like the relationship that I ever had, that I've always had with Dark Low has been it's respect when we see each other. You know, it's love when it comes to the music. But we've never been to chop it up on the phone, guys. That's never been our relationship. And I know Dark Low probably since the very, very early 2000s. But I'm glad to see he home, and we'll eventually cross paths for sure.
How did you guys meet?
I think the first time I met Dark Low, his brother, his younger brother was in a group, and that group was the first rap group that I was a part of, from North Philadelphia. Make a long story short, my OG was they OG. We linked up that way, and like I said, Dark Low little brother was in the group. My man Basic, and we just would always see each other and show each other respect. Dark Low back then, when I first got to know him, was more quiet, more reserved. He kind of would just watch, see what was going on. He was still Dark Low. You could tell he still wasn't nobody to be played with, but the way I knew Dark Low, he played the black background. Super cool cat, though.
Any plans to work on new music if you guys get a chance?
Absolutely. It'll just have to make sense because my music is now in like a more reflective, more soulful direction. So I'm sure we can make it work, but it just has to make sense. Because like I said, now I'm no longer doing the Leatherface stuff and all that. I'm trying to elevate a little bit.
Right. And were you and AR Ab cool?
I know AR Ab briefly. No deep relationship, but I know I got to know AR Ab when he was still rolling with Cassidy. I think the first time I met Ab, I was downtown in Philly pushing my mixtape. This is probably very early 2000s. And I don't know what AR Ab was doing, but he seen me, I seen him, we chopped it up. I had already had a brief relationship with Cassidy, and we just would always keep in touch, talk every now and again. And, it's just always been respect. Same thing with Dark Low, but there's been no super duper, that's my homeboy, we chop it up on the phone. It's not that type of relationship.
Got you. What did you think about when their whole situation went down?
Well, anybody from Philly, we know when it comes to those guys and their family issues, you mind your business. And just from an older cat in hip hop and just a man perspective, I believe when you see people that are family going through their issues, you should probably mind your business, because when they get back on good terms, the number one thing they're gonna all remember is the people that was in their business taking sides. So I would never be the guy taking sides. I got big respect for both of them.
How do you feel about people having 1 foot in and 1 foot out when it comes to the streets and being an artist? How did you prevent yourself from doing that?
I think that's just what it is. It's going to be a lot of cats until they're successful. They're going to come into the game 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You know what I mean? Until they feel like they've made it to where they want to get to. For me, I was lucky enough to have my first manager, the Italian cat I was telling you about in our last interview, my man Mike P. Our first business talk, he let me know, listen, you're a dope MC and all of that, but the moment you turn into a problem, I'll let you go. And he actually wrote it into our contract that, if you ever go to jail, if you ever cost me money, I'm gonna drop you, and you still owe me. And he put that same thing in the contract for him. If he got into any trouble, any legal trouble, and it reflected on me, I could leave the arrangement. So since I got that type of treatment early on, and I probably was in my early 20s, it just naturally stayed with me my whole career. And I just knew that if I become a problem to the people that's cutting the checks, I won't have a career no more. So I just never I made sure that was never my situation.
I think the problem in today's hip hop though is that you got people rapping about the crimes that they actually committed though.
True,
And then you got
true,
like prosecutors being able to use the lyrics now to convict people.
true, true. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think you have to. When I was younger, when I was doing my dirt, anything that we did in the street, you wouldn't know about it, and especially not in music. And if you heard about it, it was so many years later that you could never connect it to what we was actually talking about. But now, like you said, dudes will go do some dirt on Monday. They in the booth Monday night and they dropping a song on Tuesday telling you exactly what they did, who they stuck up, how much they took. Yeah, we don't do that where I come from, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy though because like you see with social media too, it's more like it's easier for hip hop police to be watching though and like be able to use that, right? Like what is it like for you being in the game for so long and coming from the old school to watch people get online and like snitch on themselves?
Um, I'm be honest, it don't really phase me. I just look, I analyze, and I just make notes. Like, okay, that's not what I'm gonna do. I wouldn't advise it for nobody, but they're not gonna stop. They're not gonna stop because RJ Payne don't think it's cool or because Panda Child don't think it's cool. It is and it always will be more than likely. So only thing I could do is advise people from what I know, come in this game with your nose clean, focus on your business, man, because then people waiting for you to slip up. They waiting to tie any of your music to any crime and take your whole career from you. And I refuse to let that be my situation.
It's good advice, man.